Welcome all of you to Class 10, Chapter 6, Life Processes, presented by E-Biology Series, Fatima Convent High School, myself, Dipali. We are going to study about life processes. What does this word stand for? Life. We all know that any organism which shows movement, breathing, growth, reproduction, or intake of food is called as living organisms. And processes here are the processes which help these life or living organism to exist or maintain itself on this earth. We all have been taught since the lower classes the difference between living and non-living. The five basic characteristics of any living organism is given as the organisms which can eat food, which can grow, which can reproduce, which can move from one place to another, and which can breathe are called as living organisms. And the organisms which do not show these characteristics are called as non-living. Is it true for all the organisms, or is there something incomplete related to these statements? Let us check in this chapter. What does it mean? How do we tell the difference between what is alive and what is not alive? If we see a dog running, or a cow chewing cud, or a man shouting loudly on the street, we know that they are living. So these are visible movements. What if the dog or the cow or the man was asleep? You find them still or not moving. We would still think that they are alive. But how did we know that? We see them breathing and we know that they are alive. What about plants but? We do not see plants breathing apparently or cannot feel the breathing in plants as we feel it in the living organisms or animals. How do we know that they are alive then? We see them green. Some of us will say, but what about plants that have leaves of colors other than green? They grow over time, so we know that they are alive. Some will say, in other words, we tend to think of some sort of movement, either growth related or not, as common evidences for being alive. But plants that is not visibly growing is still alive, and some animals can breathe without visible movement. So, using visible movement as the defining characteristic of life is not enough. Movement over very small scale with, will be invisible to the naked eyes, and that is movement of molecules. For example, is this invisible molecular movement necessary for life? If we ask this question to a professional biologist, they will say yes. In fact, viruses do not show any molecular movement in them until they infect some cell, and that is partly why there is a controversy about whether they are truly alive or not. So, we can say that to assign the label of any organism to be alive, they should be showing movement of molecules. Now, why is it so important for any organism to show movement of molecules? Why are molecular movements needed for life? We have seen in earlier classes that living organisms are well organized structures. They have tissues have cells, Cells have smaller components in them and so on. Because of the effect of environment, these organized, ordered nature of living organ structure is very likely to keep breaking down. Living creatures must keep repairing and maintaining their structures. Since all these structures are made up of molecules, they must move molecules around all the time. What are the maintenance processes in living organisms? Let us explore. So, it must be clear now that for any living organism to be characterized as living, they should show movement of molecules, and this movement of molecules is important to maintain and repair the body structure of any living organisms. And for this maintenance, they have to undergo several processes and they are called as life processes. What are life processes? The maintenance functions of living organisms must go on even when they are not doing anything particular, even when they are just sitting in class, even if we are just asleep. This maintenance job has to go on. The processes which together perform their maintenance job are called as life processes. So did you get this? The processes which together perform this maintenance job are life processes. Since these maintenance processes are needed to prevent damage and breakdown, energy is needed for them. This energy comes from outside the body of the individual organism. So there must be a process to transfer the source of energy from outside the body of the organism, which we call food, to the inside, a process we commonly call nutrition. So we can define nutrition as the transfer of energy source or food from the outside environment to the inside environment of the body is called as nutrition. If the body size of organism is to grow, additional raw material will also be needed from outside. Since life on earth depends on carbon-based molecules, most of these food sources are also carbon-based. Depending on the complexity of these carbon sources, different organisms can then use different kinds of nutritional processes. The outside source of energy could be quite varied since the environment is not under the control of individual organisms. These sources of energy therefore need to be broken down or built up in the body and must finally be converted into uniform source of energy can be used for the various molecular movements needed for maintenance of living structure as well as kinds of molecules the body needs to grow. For this, a series of chemical reactions is in the body are necessary. Oxidizing reducing reactions are some of the most common chemical means to break down molecules. For this, many organisms use oxygen sourced from outside the body. This process of acquiring oxygen from outside the body and to use it in the process of breaking down of food sources for a cellular need is that what we call respiration. In case of a single cell organism, no specific organs for taking in food, exchange of gases or removal of waste may be needed because the entire surface of organism is in contact with environment. But what happens when the body size of organism increases and body design becomes more complex? In multicellular organisms, All the cells may not be in direct contact with the surrounding environment. Thus, simple diffusion will not meet the requirement of the cells. We have seen previously how in multicellular organisms various body parts have specialized in the functions they perform. We are familiar with the idea of these specialized tissues and with their organization in the body of the organism. It is therefore not surprising that the intake of food and of oxygen will also be the function of specialized tissue. However, this poses a problem since the food and oxygen are now taken up at one place in the body of organism while all parts of the body needs them. This situation creates a need for transport system for carrying food and oxygen from one place to another. When chemical reaction uses carbon source and oxygen for energy generation, they create byproducts which are not only useless for the cells of the body but could even be harmful. These waste byproducts are therefore needed to be removed from the body and discarded outside by a process called excretion. Again, if the basic rule for the body design is in multicellular organisms are followed, a specialized tissue for excretion will be developed, which means that the transportation system will need to transport waste away from cells to these excretory tissues. Let us consider these various processes so essential to maintain life one by one. So, are you very much clear with this part of the chapter? What does it clearly refer to? That life. Life is the process which keeps the living organism alive, or the living organisms are characterized by five characteristics for them to be living, and they are movement, growth, respiration, nutrition, reproduction. These are the basic characteristics which make the organism living. Now, to maintain the life or to keep the life going on, they need to have various biological processes. Now, for that, you must understand that a body, that is a living organism, is made up of organ system, organ system is made up of organs. Organs are made up of tissues. Tissues are made up of cells, and cells are made up of cell organelles. So, to maintain this body structure and to repair this body structure, organism needs to show molecular movement. This molecular movement is possible with the help of energy. And this energy is obtained from food by the process of nutrition. But this nutrition is complex carbon, which is to be broken down into simpler carbon by oxidation, reduction, reactions. And for that you need oxygen. So you can say that movement of molecules needs energy. For energy, you need nutrition plus oxygen. Now, to get nutrition, you need a process called digestion. For oxygen, you need respiration. And as we have a complex body, we need to transport these substances throughout the body. Which is done by a system called circulatory system. During this, waste or byproduct is formed, which is thrown by excretory system out of the body. So, do you understand what is life and what is life processes? So, life is movement of molecules, and movement of molecules is possible with the help of energy. Energy is obtained from nutrition and oxygen, and to maintain this nutrition and oxygen in the body, or to maintain the body organization, you need various life processes, and these life processes are digestion, respiration, transportation or circulatory system, and excretory system. These are the four basic life processes. I hope this part of the chapter is clear to you. You will be able to answer the four questions given below. We shall continue further with the next topic, nutrition and types of nutrition. Thank you.